Things aren't looking good, Chief. Corites everywhere. Resources are running low. Wars.
I must warn you, this game has hella flashing lights and beam weapons. Viewer discretion is advised. But I gotta be honest with y'all, this game is straight gas. I myself haven't played a true mecha since Mobile Suit Gundam Journey to Jaburo or Psionic Front if you want to count that, or Robotech. I've had an itch for a true futuristic mecha game for years, but never pulled the trigger. So I was excited to experience a game like Mech Break. It looked fun, and doesn't even take up that much space in your PC. So my brain's fried just like everyone else's glued to the internet, but the game actually makes it easy for you to, understand what's happening at all times. You have unique sound cues, alerting you being locked on. Every weapon sounds unique, and each ability has its own flair to it. So after a while, you basically understand everything that's going on around you. Now, to me, the solo campaign is exactly the main grip for me personally for any sort of game. Things like Call of Duty or just like non-story driven games that are like still shooters. If it's just an action RPG, I'll pay attention to it. But something like this that's just like a team shooter, it's okay not to pay attention too much to the story, in my opinion. I know devs work hard on it, I respect them, and honestly, the demo campaign looks beautiful, and it doesn't hold your hand through it. You may teach you like every ability, so you can basically understand the gameplay, just like any tutorial mission should. It does that really well, actually, and I appreciated that. But it's not my main selling point for a game. To me, I want a good multiplayer experience, and Mecha Break delivers that in spades. It is fun. It is unadulterated fun. Plenty of crashing into each other, plenty of beam weapons, plenty of bullets, bazookas, everything. And the dashing mechanics is incredible. One of the reasons why I love Gundam Evolution was because even though each player has their own unique playstyle, being it from League of Legends, Call of Duty, and any game like even Mecha Break, there's no exception. The boost system shows how do you like to be defensive, how do you like to be aggressive, how do you like to do silly shit like me. I use Welkin and I take the skies and I trap Sky Raiders and Falcons in boxes and beat them to death while my snipers pick them off from afar. It's how I like to engage my team, but also just have fun in the game. We're gamers, so let's have fun. I'm not a super competitive player. I'm not going to be looking up the wikis on how to do the most insane bullshit possible. There's other streamers for that, and you know what? I also fuck with those streamers. I watch them too. It's fun. It's fun to see an optimal game. But most of all, if you're just trying to enjoy the game, you just hop in. You have a 5 to 10 minute game, and you can hop out, and it's just action packed all throughout. There's very little downtime in between lives. There's always constant action you can do, and if you're a melee unit like Welkins or Panther or any other thing, you can just hit the attack button with M1 and you can boost for as long as your boost gauge can manage, and you're basically flying as fast as a flying unit. While boosting, it is incredibly helpful to get to the front lines as fast as possible. It's also helpful, pick off flying units that aren't paying attention, trap them in a box and beat them to death. It's fun. Now for the matchmaking, the PvP matches are 6v6 format, so always expect a flank, but the maps are big enough that you can run a 1v1 pretty reliably. Looking at the UI, your health and shield are on the bottom left, and they aren't like typical games where they vanish in an instant. You actually have some staying power in this game. For damage types, you have the melee damage that damages health, and it doesn't damage the shields. Range damages your shields, then your health. On the right is the boost. You have a ton of energy / boost, you can do stupid stunts like this. Notice when I melee, my boost is also consumed in the bottom right. In this game, melee has to worry about their boost because it is the source of their melee attacks for evading the enemy shots, beams, lock-ons, and the other enemy melee. Because once you're hit with a melee attack and you're stunned and you hear that ring in the background, you have to use your boost to stabilize yourself and get out of the combos. Now, I'm not just a melee only kind of guy. I actually really like snipers as well, and I really had a lot of fun playing Narukami during the demo. I'm a big fan of snipers and brawlers, and a bit of mid-range, but close range gunplay isn't my sort of thing. It gets a bit too chaotic and my body can't keep up. It's just always been a thing, not just because I'm old and rickety now. I didn't get a chance to play a ton of mechs when I was playing. I hyper-focused on Welkin and Narukami for the time being. I just like their play styles and I got a bit addicted. I'm going to try out a lot more other mechs. I do like flyers, as you know from my other gameplay. I play a lot of Asimar from Gundam Evolution. And I miss having my firebomb and area denial and 3-peat shot, but I'm gonna make do with what I have. Now once you start beating the brakes off a few pilots, you'll get how I feel. The game is straight gas. I haven't had this much fun with a new game in over a year. I've needed a rush with something competitive with a decent skill ceiling and a crunch that my lizard brain demands.
The fucking Panther, that's just a pain in the dick. The Falcon's not gonna be able to do too much.
Stabilizing. Shield on.
Yeah, what birds? What the fuck? Where are you?
Shield down. Warning. You are weapon not ready. Enemy down.
Yeah, I had to hunt them down a bit. Well worth it.
Enemy down.
Also, they have great execute animations. Oh yeah, these guys are very animation.
Double kill.
Some mechs die. There.
That right there is music to my ears. This is the type of dopamine my body desperately needs to make it through the week, and I've been in a depressive state ever since the demo closed. I can't continue to live vicariously through my old footage. I miss the feeling of zipping around the battlefield and hiding out as Narukami. I want to take to the skies like I'm Hulk trying to drag down an Iron Man and Marvel rivals. That's why I love Narukami and Welkins. The two actually pair together nicely as well, at least to me. I love when a Welkins ends up trapping some poor bastard in a box and I can blast him twice before it goes down. Thanks to 3 beams from fully charged Narukami, any target Welkins sets up, I knock down. On these large maps with plenty of spaces to hide, Narukami can end up flanking or just keeping her distance with little care, picking Falcon and Sky Raiders out of the air in 3 easy shots. When the game comes out, I recommend avoiding Panthers, not because it's a difficult map to play, I don't know, I haven't played it. As I was playing Narukami to understand like the health differences between multiple mechs in the game, because like there's large discrepancies about who's like a heavy and who's a medium, and the lights are just, you know, easy pickings left and right. But a Panther is just as tanky as a heavy while having a medium's health. It makes no sense to me. I've literally spent a minute shooting at him with Narukami non-stop with those fully charged sniper shots, and he just doesn't even get to have health. I don't understand it. At least when trying to burn through a Tricera, you feel like you're getting somewhere. I'm not the type to go through basic rock, paper, scissors for games, but I will say the heavies have a ton of health and snipers are assassins, so you know what, focus on flankers if you're Narukami. Welkins can kind of chew through a Tricera. Like you're trying to eat hardtack while you have cottonmouth. In the goddamn desert. It's a bit rough. But look, as a sniper in Narukami, if they can pass for a twink or a twonk, get them. Time is precious because the matches are short, so each shot is impactful. As Welkin, I don't know what to do. All I know is I got a big ass axe, and I need it drenched in the oil of my enemies. I'm an American, and I would be damned if I don't get that liquid. And again, don't be like me. If you get hit with a melee attack, use your boost. It gets you out of the stun so you don't get comboed. I learned this the hard way. There are a variety of different game modes to play, ranging from PvE, whatever the fuck that is, trials, capture the flag, capture the point, straight up deathmatch, push Dakat, and more. The random rotation from the beta didn't make things feel old, and the ranked system made the matches consistently fair. Overall, the studio did a great job on each layer of the game. I thought some of the voices for the campaign were AI, but if that's a base they're using and not a final product, I'll let it pass. If it is the final product, I'll be pissed off. Like, come on, you guys have the money to hire voice actors. When it comes to getting new mechs, they will be released over time, yet they already had a decent sized roster to master during the beta, with Inferno being the premium mech. Though Inferno had insane damage values at this release, and I understand making new premium mechs being powerful is a marketing ploy, I hope they have a clear idea of what to nerf when they bring it in line with the rest of the cast. Because Inferno was so strong, you'd poke your head out and then get caged by a Welkin, and you knew it was over. It just needs a nerf to its damage values, because it already has decoys to mess with enemy fire, enough lasers to melt your eyes out of their sockets, and a shield so they can keep fucking with you. All in all, I know Inferno, once nerfed in damage, would feel better to fight against, but still be a threat because heavies like Inferno in this game have far more health to spare than anyone else. Yet there's one bastard that stalls like no other, Tricera. Tricera's that fucker that has too much health for his own good. He has a shield that parries melees, so it stuns melees when you swing on him, on activation of the shield. Can self-repair, and has enough guns to make heavy arms custom blush. Tricera has so much cake and shielding to back it up that it is like a storming a castle to bring them down. Also, the castle dashes around and refortifies itself, causing free parries. Have fun. Did I mention it blinds you too? Tricera has counter for everyone and the caliber to connect everyone to God's Wi-Fi. As I said before, I fuck with Asimar from Gun Revolution, so I'll find a mech with some area denial, and if not, I'll just find something to do drive-bys with. Yet how can I resist my boy Welkin? More axe than you know what to do with. Creates an area with Beyblades to wrestle in. Blinders, a shield, spins to win, and a bazooka to give them a quick tickle. Yet I assure you, this feels better than it looks. Chopping your enemies to bits is the best feeling in this game. Although plenty of characters have bullets and beams, the bullets feel like farts in the wind and the beams have some meat to them. Yet the hard grind of a beam axe on steel is addicting. I haven't tried a ton of mechs during the beta, cause you need to buy them, but you earn the currency quickly, so don't worry too much about getting any of the other mechs that pique your interest. You'll get them in due time, very short order, I promise. You can also customize your mech with items you get from loot boxes. They offer minor adjustments to your stats. They may not seem like much, but they can make a difference in a 1v1. I'm no pro, so it hasn't mattered to me as much. If you want to know extreme in-depth stuff, check out the players in the tourney that happened. There's plenty of depth to this game, but more than enough to make it interesting in the long run. Yet if you're like me and you need 5-10 quick minute bursts of excitement, it's a great pick. I'm terrible at ending things, so you know what, here's some footage.
Yeah, that's quick as fuck. It's just... I almost got the Aquila like really early on, but like... Honestly, sniping the Aquila out
Enemy down.
Come here, come here. Yeah! I love it.
MVP.
Welkin's axe. Nothing stopping that.